Hello, today I want to discuss how cultural humility, cultural awareness, advocacy, and social justice are essential in the counseling profession, and how I plan to embody these principles in my counseling work. So, to begin with, cultural humility, it goes beyond simply learning facts about different cultures. It is an ongoing process of self reflection, self critique, and openness. It requires recognizing that I do not master someone else's culture. Instead, I approach each client as the expert of their own lived experience. Cultural awareness involves understanding how culture, race, ethnicity, socioeconomic status, religion, gender, identity, sexual orientation, and more shapes identity, worldview, and experiences. So, in counseling, this matters deeply. Clients do not enter as blank slates. They carry historical, generational, and systemic realities that affect their mental health and access to care. For example, barriers such as poverty, discrimination, immigration status, lack of insurance, the stigmas around mental health, mistrust of healthcare systems, all of this can prevent individuals from seeking or fully benefiting from counseling services. If I fail to recognize these realities as a counselor, I risk unintentionally reinforcing harm to my clients. Moving on, so advocacy and social justice are therefore not optional in counseling. They are professional responsibilities. The American Counseling Association Code of Ethics emphasizes respect for client dignity, cultural sensitivity, and the responsibility to address barriers that affect client well being. Cultural humility also aligns with ethical principles of competence. True competence is not static, it requires lifelong learning and accountability. It means acknowledging when I need consultation, supervision, or additional education to serve a client effectively. So, from a spiritual perspective, cultural humility and social justice are also deeply rooted in Scripture. For example, Micah 6 and 8 says, He has shown you, O man, what is good, and what does the Lord require of you? To act justly, and to love mercy, and to walk humbly with your God. This verse highlights justice, mercy, and humility. Three principles that directly guide ethical counseling practice. Walking humbly includes recognizing that my worldview is not universal. Acting justly means confronting inequity and not ignoring it. To develop and demonstrate cultural humility with my clients, one action I would take is to intentionally engage in ongoing self reflection and supervision focused on bias awareness. I will examine my assumptions, privileges, and blind spots. I will also incorporate culturally responsive assessments, questions into intake sessions, such as asking clients how their cultural identity shapes their understanding of their problem and what healing looks like in the community. So, to advocate for and engage in social justice for client populations, I plan to participate in community outreach and public advocacy efforts that increase access to mental health services for underserved populations. This may include supporting sliding scale services, partnering with underserved populations. The photo I chose is an image of a neighborhood intersection which has aging buildings and limited visible community resources. There are no sidewalks accessible and no visible public transportation and very few signs of investment or community development. So this picture, it represents how environment and systemic inequities can influence mental health. Communities with limited economic development often experience reduced stress, reduced access to healthcare, mental health services, healthy food options, safe recreational spaces. These environmental stressors can contribute to chronic stress, anxiety, depressions, and feelings of hopelessness. And so this is the conclusion of my video. Thank you.